All right, guys. Today we are going to record this video and just see like what does this blog have for us. This was shared on Reddit Emacs subreddit. Sorry, why use Emacs? I've been using Emacs for more than a month now. To be specific, I've been using Doom Emacs with some customization of my own. I have been writing ELISP for my own customizations, whatever I want to do. I have tried a couple of LSP clients, for example, LSP Bridge. I've tried LSP mode as well. I'm using LSP mode for now, and I'm using Corfu, which is suggested by Doom as well. It's as the default. So yeah, that is quickly about me. We have used NeoVim. We all have used NeoVim in the chat. Most of the people as well. I've used for around 6 years, and I've used VS Code now and then. Tried Z today, but yeah. Anyway, so we do have some context. So it's something that we could react to as well and see like what does it have to talk about. So let's go through this. Okay. The article is about my relationship with Emacs. Emacs is a 48-year-old text editor. It still gets updated regularly and has a thriving community that continuously grows. Its main selling point is how extensible it is. Okay. Most of the things like with NeoVim and Emacs, like the main selling point has always been like how extensible they are, right? Apart from being lightweight and all, right? Like you can just customize it the way you want, maybe. And that's what probably it's according to the user Ismail says that the main selling point is this. You can change any of its part using Emacs Lisp, which is the language it uses as well for customization. That is all you need to know how to read this article, as I'll talk about all of this in detail. Beautiful. Okay, I mean, just to be very honest, my journey with Emacs started off with someone suggesting me that Emacs uses a different data structure for how, like, I don't know if you guys have heard. We tried doing this on stream, gap buffer, right? So it was about why is it faster to skip from one cursor point to another cursor point, which is sorry, like very close to your current cursor. If you want to move around, why is it faster compared to other editors? So they use gap buffer for that. So I was just curious, like, okay, Emacs uses that, and just looking at the code, okay, I wanted to give it a try, and then Doom Emacs was comparatively coming from NeoVim, it's very easy to switch. So that's how I begin. Let's see. I envy people who can just pick up a tool and start using it right away without the constant need to perfect it. Constant need to perfect it, small imperfections distract me. This is one thing people have taught me recently, that life is like grayscale. It's not 1 and 0. So you will never find something that is perfect, right? And probably that's like the author has been facing this problem, and my mind sways away to solve it. This usually prevents me from getting work done. Up until 2022, I would start writing something in a random text editor, notice a behavior I wanted to change or disable, search it for a few minutes on how to change it if it were possible, and repeat this cycle every 20 minutes. We've all been there, right? Like whenever we use a Linux distribution, we hop off like from the current one, then we find something, then we configure, then we change back. Like we have wasted, I don't know if it's something that you should call wasting, but we have invested a lot of time there, right? I mean, at this point, we all want to be at a place that just works, right? A couple of days later, I would find an unchangeable behavior that is a deal breaker and try to find a new text editor. Okay, let's see what kind of behavior they are talking about. This continued until I started considering Emacs as a serious solution to my needs. I learned the existence of Emacs in 2019 thanks to a DistroTube video. Hey DT, thank you for. I think we have all been there with DT videos. One of the nicest guys there. Like, nice videos, to be honest. No shit talks and all, just being very honest. After a few months, I tried Doom Emacs, a kind of a starter pack config, and couldn't see the point of using it, as I did not need anything other than a simple code editor at the time. Okay. Doom Emacs does come with a lot of customizations, right? Like with a lot of third-party plugins and all. Just the good thing is that they are being maintained. They have a community and all, so you can go and ask things to people. And yeah, in 2022, for reasons I sadly do not remember, I gave Doom Emacs another try. Okay, so from 2019 to 2022, a 3-year gap. The author gave Doom Emacs another try. This time was a lot better. My university lessons were getting serious, and I needed a way to take notes efficiently. Okay, the org mode thing, huh? And distribute them as I needed. As an added bonus, I was really deep into Vim emotions, and Doom Emacs was built around Evil mode, which emulates the main features of Vim, right? Like, yeah, makes sense. By default, Emacs has a God mode, right? It took me around a year to get completely comfortable, and I no longer feel that need to tweak my config. They have a config frequently, but I should note that learning Emacs is a journey with no end. Every day I learn something new about Emacs. That's their like learning curve is steep, and you're never satisfied. Like Emacs is always something to offer. So is every editor, right? It's not like VS Code. Every time you open extensions, there's a new extension that comes up, right? So I would say that is the same with everything. Drink, drink, drink. Yes. Okay. 1 second, guys. Thank you, Venom. So for me, Emacs is a text editor that is infinitely extendable, keyboard driven. That is true. By default, these are keyboard driven editors. Extendable, yep, you can extend it to anything of your sort. Modular and immortal, okay. I think based on like the history they have had, what's a 48-year-old, right? You can call it immortal and modular as well. It's basically a bunch of ELISP file taped together. The best part is you can tape your own ELISP code easily and it works too, though as it was always there. Okay, there is no Emacs to your ELISP code. Your code is Emacs. Okay, all right. That doesn't explain this to me right now. That why use Emacs. Emacs can easily be the best text editor, coding environment, or a Frankenstein that adapts to your workflow. For example, I turned Emacs into an ultimate writing environment that spell checks, organizes, and converts my notes into beautiful full Word documents with custom styling or functional sites with HTML and CSS code bundle. Okay. For the record, I suck at taking notes and I don't use anything of like org mode or all. Even when I was in NeoVim, I never needed anything that I wanted to like have a third party plugin for taking notes and all. I just open a README file, put it out there on GitHub and get done with it. But Emacs has been very famous for this org mode. I don't know if like people want it as well. Personally, I've never used it, but it's one of the selling points for sure. Before I get into more about reasons I use it, I want to talk about its limitations. Okay, learning curve, we've talked about it, that there'll be tons of stuff that won't work for you, and to change those things, you'll need to read a lot of documentation, discussions, and GitHub issues. That's one of the reasons you should go for Doom Emacs as a starter pack, right? I would not even say that, for example, if you are someone who thinks that Doom Emacs is only for beginners, it's not true. Like, it's just a starter pack config. Doesn't mean that if you're an advanced coder, you should not use Doom. Like, I've seen many people saying that, okay, you have your own config? No, then like you're not a pro in Emacs. No, you don't need to. Something just works. It works. Doesn't mean that you don't know how Doom works, right? Sometimes you see you can also configure Doom further. It's not like Doom is not extendable, right? Lisp is a foreign language for most people under 40. No offense. True, right? Lisp used to exist before, and a lot of people have who are over 40 have talked about Lisp being used as like scripting language. I don't know, but I've never used it. I'm under 40. Yeah, and learning such an alien language for customizing a text editor might be too much. You might not want to do it. Even if you don't mind tackling a new language, investing such a big time might be a deal breaker for some. That's true. They one of you. NeoVim has New York. Okay. Yeah, I mean, pretty sure that everyone will slowly have integrations with third-party plugins and all, right? Obsidian, I don't know, Varu is not here, but he'll relate. Even you used to use it, right? There are a lot of good videos, documentations, etc. But the main issue is how much time it takes to perfect it, because the options are endless. There are a lot of cool stuff you can do, and you find yourself taken away by your creativity to execute these ideas. Okay, I have lots of cool functions that do a bunch of useful things. Okay, all right, got it. We get it that extendable it is, but it comes with a cost that you need to spend time. So that's a limitation. That's a pro as well. That's a con as well. It depends on your personal choice. Don't get me wrong. Yes, it pays off exponentially, but if you're in the middle of a busy school year, you don't want to give it a change. I understand, right? Things sadly break a lot when you're a beginner. Most of the time, it turns out that be your fault and you have a general idea of how to solve it. The worst is when you break things. It breaks things. That's like probably I don't feel it now because I use Doom Emacs and Doom kind of tests everything. It's like open source community as well. I don't upgrade very often as well. It's not like if upgrade comes today, I will upgrade after a second. So yeah, but it's true. Like same with Arc, like something breaks and you have to kind of follow along. Okay, did something break? And then there's a workaround for it until next upgrade, or you can downgrade as well. Yeah, this really happens, but really sucks when it does, right? Just experience when it breaks, it just totally sucks, right? A lot of package breakage goes away or becomes really minor when you have when you have experience, but sadly, when the most seasoned among us experience those things, we all do, right? We have always been there. Things break in life as well. I mean, I'm 26-year-old experienced person. I'm breaking my things in life. While nobody codes on their phone, seriously. Oh wait. Org mode is awesome for note taking, schedule managing, literal programming. I'll get into more detail later. Okay. I'm gonna skip this part because I think for now, code editors, specifically if you want to compare with any other editor as well, we don't want to talk about how you can link it with, I don't know, it just feels like something that is not very important for now. Let's skip it, but understand, like for you, if you want to kind of sync with your phone notes as well, it might be something that you would like to do. Oh, sorry, I need to go back. I clicked on it. Okay, they do have plugins and all, is it? Okay, so use it. Why use it? That's the important point we want to talk about, right? Now comes the fun part, talking about the positives and what makes Emacs unique. Flexibility, you can change a lot of things, and I'm not talking about changing experience or ability to add extensions. Almost everything in Emacs is a function list file. Okay. There are also major and minor modes that activate according to the buffer you're on. I think this is something I've loved a lot. For example, if you are opening a Python file, there's a specific Python mode that you can activate, and you can have two different functions that perform differently based on the mode you are in. Right? If you're in Rust, you can have a Rust mode. You will have a Rust mode, and if you're in Python, you will have a Python mode, and a particular xyz function can do different things based on the mode you are in, right? So that's something that I loved it as well. You can write functions or packages that talk to core Emacs function and write anything you can imagine. It's like same with NeoVim, right? They have exposed APIs as well that you can call. When using Vim or NeoVim, there are some restrictions that come from your terminal emulator, but because Emacs is a GUI application, you can have a greater control. That is true. So Emacs does come with a default, like if I open this, like you have a GUI application as well along with this, right? And you can open this in your terminal as well. Like if I do NW, so you can have this over here as well, right? So you can do things that you want, it will work. Okay, for now, let's just it. All right. This makes sense, by the way. Like for example, when you don't want to set up a font, when you think that okay, this terminal doesn't have good font rendering as well, you don't have to think about it. It's just Emacs is a GUI application. You can have a greater control there as well, right? So you don't have to couple the terminal config with Emacs, and you can do both if you would like to do, right? In most editors, to change core functionality, you have to write a package that needs to follow a last set of guidelines and have a bunch of formalities. In Emacs, you only need an elist file and load that file and start up, nothing else. Same with NeoVim. I do think that maybe they are comparing with other editors as well, but for now, NeoVim and Emacs kind of follow along with me. I have not faced many problems to configure NeoVim, to be honest, to be very honest, okay? Org mode is a GNU Emacs major mode for keeping notes, authoring documents, computational notebooks, literate programming, maintaining to-do lists, planning projects, and more in a fast and effective plain text system. Okay, that's a lot. Okay, that's a lot it does, right? Okay. All right, let's see. So this is a good introduction, but I think I can expand more upon this. All documents are plain text files that end with .org, or can be used as a markup language like Markdown, but using it just as a markup language would be a bit wasteful. Or can help you organize your life with org agenda. Can be an interactive programming notebook like Jupyter, can help you do literate programming with org blocks, and can replace apps such as Microsoft Word. Oh, wow. Okay, let's talk about their personal use case, sorry. Writing class notes and blog posts. Okay, I took notes in all for last two semesters. So 2 semesters, I had tons of different classes. Okay, so mostly for note taking. Write long essays without leaving Emacs. Okay, the ability to turn your org files into doc. This is very interesting, to be honest. The fact that you can just convert this into a doc file as well is interesting, but it comes with a configuration. Of course, anything that comes with a configuration, but okay. So that's one thing that I do relate as well, probably very interesting. Oh, an overkill for me, to be very honest. I'll not do it ever. I'll open Google Docs, I'll open Microsoft Word if I'm on Windows. If I'm on Linux, I'll just open Google Docs and make it. I'll not make my a home for this, but for many students who want to do it, it's something that you can consider. Literate programming, I don't practice it except for one occasion, my Doom Emacs config. Having a config that explains itself is a godsend for both other people and future you. Okay, I'm gonna skip this org mode part. I think that's it. Yeah, evil mode is something that I love it as well, because when you're coming from Vim, or even when you like using JKH, whatever, right? I can't emphasize enough how important it is for me. It's not just binding site, like it's totally related to whatever Vim used to have. For example, if you want to go to your previous function, evil mode does that. Like you can do square brackets 2 times and it will open that for you, right? I mean, it will take the cursor there. I have the complete power of Vim inside Emacs. That's something that is there. I can create macros with all the key bindings without any configuration, and thanks to Doom Emacs. Let me just specify thanks to Evil Mode as well. It's not just Doom Emacs. It's actually um, like if you go there, this is there, right? So I think probably we want to thank them as well, and not just Doom Emacs. Of course, Doom Emacs does port it along with them. I hope so. My custom functions, I have ton of functions. Okay, AI can be dumb and give you bad code. Always ask for it to break it down. Yeah. So we have done this on live stream as well. We asked ChatGPT to code something for us, and yes, we can write custom functions. I definitely feel that writing with Elisp, it's more intuitive compared to Lua for me personally. Okay, I've enjoyed just having modes over there that comes with Emacs. Right, it's not about the language Lua, for example, but it's just more comfortable for me to write custom functions in Emacs. Google current word, this function that Googles the word at a point and opens it in your default browser. First result URL, okay. Okay, open project in VS Code. Pretty self-explanatory, either opens the file of the project in VS Code. If you want to move from Emacs to VS Code quickly, okay. Okay. Closing words, thanks for reading my Emacs propaganda. I love this program so much that I feel the constant need to talk about it. I really feel like everyone can benefit from using Emacs, but it just takes time, a long time to be efficient in it. Feel free to reach to me about anything via email. Okay. Short and sweet, right? Crisp as well. Whatever they wanted to explain, they did. Personally, to me, I think switching between projects, like my motivation of using Emacs was more of coming from Doom Emacs rather than just Emacs. If you go to Doom Emacs as well, I think they have this, have they, yeah. Okay, they have not listed Doom. Why? Are they? Right. If I go to Doom Emacs, for example, just the way they are like maintaining the things, right? The or like maintainer, everything, whatever they are doing, right? For example, it's really, really, really nice, right? Like everything they are following up, they are managing what kind of plugins should go and how they are testing as well. I think it's very um it's I believe in Doom Emacs. That's the best way to put it, right? For example, Luna Vim was there. There was a community along, right? I was very people were very hopeful. Then the maintainer couldn't find enough time to work on it, which is of course there. But just Doom Emacs, the way they are doing it, right? And hopefully they keep getting funding and all, whatever they need for it. I think I love it. And plus the author is um, very much open to contributions. Like for example, this every module that they have a particular owner for it, right? For example, if you go to modules, if you go to Corfu, it's currently owned by a few people, so they take care of it ways or completion. So there are multiple options for completion, right? So if you go here, you will have where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Okay, they change a lot of things here. They never had it. Where are the owners? 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. Where is it? Come on. Yeah, maintainers. Sorry. So become a maintainer if you want to. So these two people kind of maintain this module, right? So it's something that like single author cannot do everything, right? So and it's not like they are not taking care of it. If we look at this, Lemon Breezes, who is also like who you just saw that who was a maintainer of Corfu module, one of the maintainers, right? So they're taking care of this, right? And they're actively looking at what's going on. So I was asking a question there. They are also explaining. They are taking a stand. Nobody is rude as well. If you want to ask questions, if you are making sense, as long as that is there, they will respond back as well. Even if you're not making sense, they'll let you know that it's something that is not making sense. And Minard is person who is the main author of Corfu. So he also keeps an eye on what's going on, right? So it's just very, very, I don't know. I believe, right? That's the thing with Doom Emacs, and I totally can relate. Like I was once asking on their Discord channel, like I asked one question and they were very quick and very prompt in answering your questions, the whole community. And as we go along, we should also look at what what should we help, like how can we be of any help with the community, right? So I think in terms of community wise, Emacs is clean, quote unquote. Um, is the whole community is purely focused on making sure that Emacs stays as an editor and it's extendable. It stays true to itself. And Doom Emacs has followed that tradition very well. And I don't feel it getting toxic at any point of time. Right? I would definitely suggest people to give it a try. I think it has a lot of things to uh, kind of just use and enjoy as well. Stallman's Legacy, yeah. I think for sure. I was looking at Stallman's code. They had a to do and they mentioned that I don't think we should do it. Nobody has done it. It's like just looking at 13 years old code, whatever, like these, it just feels very real, right? And yeah, I think it's something worth trying. Why use Emacs? Because you experience the whole nice community. You experience the stability as well with Doom Emacs. I don't think it's unstable at all. You might see some breakage here and there, but I will really doubt when you have these many people using it. I don't think it will stay for long, right? Just things are very nice, and you get to learn Lisp as well, like kind of Lisp as well. You enjoy configuring yourself. If you're one of those people, I think it's worth using. And starting with Doom Emacs or even ending with Doom Emacs is something that you can consider. Great blog, guys. I think I've just appreciate the author. Very crisp, nice theming, nice font. Everything is nice. Thank you so much for writing this, and I hope everyone gives it a try. And that's it. So I think we are done. Thank you. I'll stop the recording. I'll put this on YouTube. Anyone who wants to watch this, feel free.